Hello, I'm Michelle, the founder of Yellow Pilates. Today we've got a video that's focusing on sorting out your niggly, narky lower back. So if your lower back is feeling tight, is feeling uncomfortable, you're in pain, then most likely it's because we're overworking the lower back muscles and underworking the front core abdominal muscles. So this video is going to look at doing a bit of a mix of both. We're lengthening the back, strengthening the front. So start off on your hands and knees. All you need is a mat today, and bring your hands underneath your shoulders, knees under your hips, and then I want you to encourage your pelvis, your hips, to sink down towards your heels. Now this position is going to look really different from person to person. So if you are like me and you can have your hips down towards your heels, then go for that. Maybe you're a little bit higher, but the main thing I want you to think about is the tailbone tucking under and lengthening down towards the ground, as if you're trying to tuck a tail between your legs. Let the head, let the neck release, and find a position that suits you best. See if you can really relax in the head, and once you're in a position that works for you, go for a wee rock from side to side. So just allowing the pelvis to shift one way and then the other. So you're feeling that stretch in different places across the back and maybe even around the shoulders, the hips, depending on kind of what feels tight for you. From here, you're going to bring both your hands over towards the right and reach the hips over towards the left. So you're getting more of a stretch down one side of the body. Still try and keep the head and neck nice and loose. And then when you're ready, shifting over, hands over towards the left, hips towards the right, finding that stretch in the opposite side. Beautiful. Come back into the center. And from here, we're going to come back up onto your hands and knees. Take your knees maybe a wee bit wider than hip width. And from here, really rounding underneath. So letting the whole spine come up into a big bridge shape. Allowing that tail to tuck between your legs again. Head to relax and look down towards your knees. And then you're going to drop the belly. Let the head and chest look forward. Inhale here. Exhale, rounding through. See if you can start the movement from the pelvis and then what happens with the lower back. Rounding, lengthening, and dropping the belly. Last one. Beautiful. Come back to center. And then to finish off here, I want you to just draw big circles with the hips, with the pelvis, and see if you can get around your full circle, so leaving no little edge unturned. And then the other side. Quite the combination of sayings there, isn't it? You know what I mean. You know what I mean. So circling all the way around. Beautiful. And then coming back into the middle and relaxing there. From here, let's come onto your back. So lying down, at long last. Bring your feet in line with your hips. Pop your hands onto your pelvis. And if you've done Pilates for a wee while, you'll be quite familiar with this move. So your hands are going to rest on your pelvis, and this is our pelvic tilt. So tilting the pelvis away from you, feeling the lower back arch away from the mat, and then tilting the pelvis towards you. Feel how you connect your lower back to the ground again. And we're just going to move as smoothly and as lazily really through these movements as you can. Seeing how much you can just allow the pelvis to really initiate the movement. And if the spine, the head reacts, then great. Staying really connected through the feet, grounding down. And noticing if it feels tighter in one way or the other. And then from here, come back into the middle, so that neutral position. And I want you to press down into your right foot. So really connect through that right foot and allow that pressure of the right foot into the floor to let the right side of the pelvis lift and the left side drop down towards the ground. So if your pelvis is a spirit level, we've now got quite the angle down to the left. Come back to the center and then change over in the opposite direction. So I'm pressing down through my right foot, pelvis tilts, down through my left foot, pelvis tilts to my right. And we'll do that a few times. And what I'm after is to really allow the movement to start from the connection of the foot into the floor. Imagine kind of rocking like a seesaw through the center. Down, feel the lower back connect to the floor as you change from side to side. Or rather, the very lower part of your spine might be something to think about. And then come back into the center. Lovely. Okay, so feet, check they're still in line with your hips. You've got your tripod with your feet. So your big toe, your little toe, and your heel are equally connecting into the floor. And then when you're ready, start to press down into your feet, which allows the pelvis to tilt towards you. And then start to let the lower back, then the middle part of the spine, then the upper part, or the back of the ribs rather, come off the mat. Breathe in here. And then breathing out, let the back of the ribs come down first, then the middle part of the spine, then the lower back, then the pelvis. And inhale. Exhale, pelvis tilts towards you. I ground down through my feet, curling up through the spine. Inhale here. Exhale, back of the ribs come down. Middle part of the spine, lower back, lovely. So this is our pelvic curl. And really it's all about articulating through the spine, which is going to help find a bit more mobility across the whole spine and therefore help your lower back. So there's method in the madness, I promise. And then pausing there, great. From here, pop your hands onto your pelvis. Find that neutral position again where the pelvis feels level. We're going to take a breath in. And when you breathe out, let one leg just float up towards tabletop and then lower it back down. Other side, breathing out, leg floats up. And exhale. Good. So don't worry too much about the breath. You know, you could do a few different things here, but why not breathe out as you let the leg lift and then inhale to lower it back down. But I just want you to keep breathing, really, and think about keeping the pelvis where it is without bracing. Letting one leg lift, keeping the lower back kind of out of the action here. We don't want to be working the lower back. We want to think about the muscles in front. Beautiful, let's make that the last one. And then interlink the fingers, bring them back behind the head. Keep that connection of the feet into the ground. We're going to breathe in through the nose, and as you breathe out, let the head and shoulders start to curl up off the mat, keeping the pelvis level, drawing the abdominals in towards the spine, and then inhale, lowering back down. Breathing out, curling up. And inhale, lower. So slow and steady with this one, keeping the head really heavy so we're not taking the tension into the shoulders. And inhale, lowering back down. We're going to make this one the last one, breathing out. Lovely stuff. And then adding on to that, you're going to curl back up once more. Now find that position where the sweet spot where you're working the abdominals but the head's still heavy. And now I want you to do 10 tiny little pulses. So imagine you're tightening a piece of elastic between your pelvis and your bottom rib as you curl up and up for 3, 2, 1, and lowering back down, and take a pause. Well done. Okay, so then from here, one more abdominal effort. So we're going to think a little bit more about these side abdominals, which are called your obliques here. Keeping your pelvis where it is again, grounding through the feet. Curl up just like we did. Now keep the pelvis where it is, so concrete knickers. You've got your pelvis grounded there, and I'm rotating my spine, rotating my torso to face one direction, and then back to the center, rotating round to the other side. Inhale to center. Exhale, finding that rotation over to the other side. And last one, rotate back to the center and relax, relax, relax. Good, let the arms get floppy out to the side. Take your feet out quite wide. And then we're gonna go for a really lazy hip roll here. So just letting the knees fall one way and then the other. Allowing all that effort in the front to just relax and reset, but also just give the lower back a bit of a lengthen again. Lovely stuff. So one more each side. Great. And then from here, let's come onto your front. So this is our prone position. We're gonna lie down facing the mat or your floor, wherever you are. And I want you to think about here, you're gonna have your forehead on the ground and your arms down by your side. So find that position and then take a breath in through your nose. Inhale, and then exhale, breathing out and out and out and out and out. And allow that breath out just to draw your belly button away from the mat. So you're finding that kind of gentle lift of the belly button away from the floor. And as you do that, we're finding a bit more space in the lower back. So we're not going to take all of this effort into the back muscles, but rather the front and the upper part of the back. So inhale again. Exhale, I'm reaching my fingertips down towards my heels as I let the head and chest hover off the ground. Inhale, lowering back down. Breathing out, reaching the fingertips, just a really small hover here. Inhale, lower back down. Good stuff. We're going to do 3 more. This is our lat pull. So we're working these muscles on the side of the back. Inhale, lower. 2 more. Try not to hold in the glutes or the back of the legs here, letting everything release. And last one, breathing out. And lowering back down. Good, great stuff. Bring your arms out in front of you. Bring your thumb and your first finger together. All the same ideas. Think about lengthening that tailbone away. As you start with your forehead on the ground, elbows are a wee bit bent. And then you're going to press down into your forearms, draw the shoulders away from your ears, and let the head and chest hover off the ground. So if you pause here, we're thinking about lengthening the top of the head one way as you reach the tailbone the opposite direction. Inhale, lowering back down. Breathing out, lifting up. And inhale, lower. And 2 more. Breathing out. Inhale, lower. Last one, diamond press. Good, and relax there. Very nice stuff. Bring your hands underneath your chest, push yourself up and back, and just find that shell stretch again. That position where you are lengthening the lower back away. And give everything a wee wobble. Lovely. All right, last thing here. We're going to come to a seated position. Now, I want you to pop your legs in a place that feels comfortable for you. And that might mean if you're quite tight in the lower back, sitting up on a few cushions or a block if you've got one, or some hard books at home to give your hips and your lower back a wee bit more space. So you could cross your legs. Legs could be out in front, wider, you could bend the knees. I want you to feel like you can lengthen the spine and have the head right on top of the pelvis. From here, bring your arms across your chest and think about the head, the chin, and the chest all staying in line with one another. We're going to rotate the upper body round in one direction and keeping that connection between the chin and the chest, and then come back to center and over to the other side. And center, and round we go. So keeping the shoulders nice and easy, finding that rotational movement. Super important for lightening the load around the lower back. Great, last one there, pausing there. Bring one hand onto the ground and then allow the shoulder to slide away from your ear. Take your opposite arm up and over and inhale as you come up through the center and over to the other side. Great, one more time. Into that side bend. Remember, your legs can be however you like. You could even try this sat up on a chair if you needed, or you could kneel. There's plenty of options. And then come back to center. Great, final movement here. So wherever your legs are, you're gonna try and articulate and move through the spine one vertebra at a time towards the ground. So I'm starting at the very top of my spine. I'm nodding my chin to my chest, and then I'm gonna start to allow the very top few vertebrae to round over as I start to creep my fingertips away. And I'm trying to be quite strict here so that I just move one little section like a bicycle chain down through the spine. Pause wherever feels like you need to pause for you. Breathe in, into the lower back, into that back area. And then rolling back up, restacking. The head's the last thing to lift. Let's do that one more time. Chin nods towards the chest. Trying to sequentially move through the spine, and there's bound to be sticky bits where big sections of the spine go together. As much as you can, try and resist that. Rolling back up. Restacking all the way. Head's the last thing to lift. Great. Well done. Get up now, have a walk around the room that you're in. Just allow all that good stuff to settle in, and kind of use the ground to help give you a bit of feedback. Take the load out of the lower back. So remember for next time, the key to reducing your pain in your lower back is lengthening the lower back muscles, but strengthening the front and the core muscles. And that's what Pilates is brilliant for. So see you next time.